And joining me now is Dr. Kavita Patel, a physician and former health policy director in the Obama administration. Dr. Patel, it's always great to see you. Thanks for being here. The July 4th deadline that President Biden set is rapidly approaching, and we're still seeing these vaccination numbers dropping across the country. And of course, we were just talking about these potentially expiring vaccines. Do you think states are doing enough to try to get these shots into arms? What do they need to be doing?
Yeah, Casey, I think everybody is trying to do as much as possible, states in particular, and the federal government. They're making efforts to expand access, but this isn't an access problem anymore. As you heard Laura say, this is really a demand issue. So now we need to go to that kind of trusted, surrogate for the people who are not taking the shots right now. And that is a very large population. There are some parts of the country, Casey, where there is still only about 50% vaccinated. And that's just too few. So this now has to move almost to like a zip code level. States support it, but it has to come down to kind of private sector, people who want to have a more normal kind of day-to-day, especially this summer.
Right. Well, and of course, we were also talking just a second ago about, OK, so these are expiring. What do we do? Can we send them overseas? Because, of course, President Biden is overseas ahead of the G7 summit, and we know vaccines likely to be a huge topic there. Before he was leaving, he was asked about whether or not we have a global vaccine strategy. Let's take a look at what he had to say, and then we'll talk about it.
Mr. President, do you expect to come out with a vaccine strategy for the world?
I have one, and I'll be announcing it. Thank you.
So pretty brief there, but sounds like we are going to get some more information on this. What should our strategy be?
Yeah, so our strategy is we should definitely not let doses expire on shelves, Casey, but even if we sent every single excess dose, it would just be a fraction of the billions that we need. So our strategy really does need to be kind of leaning on the other G7 countries to help augment, not just with supply and manufacturing, but we're going to really have to support the World Health Organization's effort, which the Biden administration has started to do, to get easy, equitable access for global vaccines writ large. And that also means, Casey, a difficult conversation about cost, because many of these countries, even at dramatically reduced prices, can't afford these vaccines. But then every American needs to realize you being vaccinated depends on the world being vaccinated in terms of getting back to what I call normal, pre-pandemic normal.
Yeah, and to that very point, we've seen these upticks in variants, which is one of the things we always talk about in this context. And the president actually tweeted about the Delta strain, which is highly infectious and, as he says, spreading rapidly among young people between 12 and 20 years old in the UK. He says if you're young and haven't gotten your shot yet, now is the time. How much more worried about this strain should we be than any of the others?
Yeah, so I'm incredibly worried. We've been following this variant, the Delta variant, B.1617.2. And because in the UK, Casey, we saw it proliferate literally over a matter of days. And that is a dramatic increase to even the variant that we used to call the UK variant or the Alpha variant. So it's something that we're paying attention to. Good news, all three of our current vaccines seem to work against this current variant. But Casey, we're constantly flirting at the edges. We need to make sure that every vaccine is in Americans' arms so that we don't allow these variants to further mutate and become different variants that are worse.
All right, Dr. Kavita Patel, thank you as always for your expertise. We always appreciate having you.